Hello everyone, and welcome to the Thorogood webcast on the new and latest release from Tableau, Tableau 10, and what the latest upgrades could mean for your enterprise reporting. We'll start with some brief introductions. My name is Arshad Taylor. I'm a Senior Business Intelligence and Analytics Consultant with Thorogood Associates. I've been working with Thorogood for a number of years on enterprise business intelligence implementations across several technologies, in particular Tableau and Microsoft. I'm joined today by my colleague Lingan Gnanasekaran, who is also a business intelligence and analytics consultant. Lingan and I will both take you through different aspects of what's new in Tableau 10. We are joining today's webcast from our London office. For today's webcast, we have two chief objectives. First, we will take you through the evolution of Tableau, right from its inception to today, where we see the release of Tableau 10. We will then go into our assessment of Tableau 10 and what we believe are the most exciting features in this release. We will also demonstrate the features we find most compelling, so you can expect the session to be quite demo heavy. We have approximately 35 minutes of content ready for the webcast today, so we should hopefully have time at the end of the session to take any questions you may have. So let's start with a quick introduction of Thorogood and provide you an overview of what we do as a consultancy. For those of you who don't know Thorogood, we are an independent global professional services firm specializing in business intelligence and analytics solutions, strategies, and services. We've been around for over 20 years and place a keen focus on delivering value for our customers. As a global firm, we have offices in New York, Philadelphia, London, Bangalore, and Singapore. All of our consultants are recruited and trained in the same way to develop a unique mix of skills. We blend business understanding with strong technical aptitude and a deep understanding of analytical tools and techniques. We believe this intersection plays a key part in our ability to deliver high-quality business intelligence and analytics solutions. The range of services we offer is holistic and covers the end-to-end life cycle of any project, from initial technology strategy and roadmap definitions, to requirements gathering and analysis, to the design, implementation, and testing of complex systems, all the way to the training and support of business users. On this side, we've included a selection of our customers by sector to help you get a sense of the types of companies we've helped with their business intelligence and analytics needs. We work across a number of industries, chief amongst them the consumer goods, pharmaceuticals, health services, insurance, and banking sectors. Thorogood are an independent consulting firm in that we don't work with one specific technology. We do, however, partner with a wide array of technology firms in the market, including back-end, front-end, and analytics-driven technologies. But a key interest for us today, as we will be focusing on Tableau 10, is our partner status with Tableau. We've been a strategic alliance partner with Tableau for some years now, and also hold the distinction of being on their partner advocacy board. Globally, we have over 65 consultants skilled in Tableau. And when I say skilled, I don't mean in basic report development alone, but also in the integration of Tableau with other key enterprise platforms such as SQL Server, Teradata, R, and many more. Now let's get into the evolution of Tableau over the years. Before we get into the advancements made with the release of Tableau 10, let's take a step back and examine the evolution of Tableau right from its inception. Tableau released the first version of their product over a decade ago in 2005. Looking back, it's interesting to notice how their current release, Tableau 10, is relatively an entirely different beast. The timeline on this slide captures each of the earlier versions of Tableau and the significant features that were released with them. Coincidentally, this timeline was also built by Lingan himself with Tableau 10. The story of the evolution is interesting. Initially, Tableau were focused on strengthening their core reporting and calculation capabilities. Come version 6 in 2010, and an emphasis on data manipulation and blending came into the picture. Further refinements such as story points were added in version 8 in 2013, before the eventual foray into Tableau version 9 and the subsequent minor releases in 2015 and 2016. In our opinion, what is most compelling about this timeline is the trajectory Tableau took in the last section over here, that is, from version 9 and onward. When you study the new features released with versions 9, 9.1, 9.2, and 9.3, it becomes apparent that Tableau had already started the journey to version 10 from this point. Key amongst the advancements made here are the Analytics pane, which made its debut in version 9, the significant improvements in data preparation made in versions 9, 9.2, and 9.3. Some of you will know about the data union feature, which was much awaited in the community. Gradual improvements in querying and performance across all releases, and advancements made in Tableau Mobile, particularly in versions 9.1 and 9.2. What is clear is that the improvements made in these releases were incremental, logical steps towards the culmination, that is, Tableau 10 today. Now let's get into our assessment of the advancement Tableau have made with version 10. Having assessed Tableau 10, it's clear that Tableau have made advancements in 4 key areas. Reporting and analytics see some key improvements. Clustering will please analytics fans, and the ability to create custom territories and maps will please customers looking for more empowerment out of Tableau. The introduction of dynamic highlighting is another feature that refines the end-user experience. Lingan will be demoing all of these features very shortly. Data connectivity continues to see steady expansion, but it is in data transformation and manipulation where version 10 takes significant strides forward. The introduction of much-awaited features such as cross-database joins and cross-data source filtering will be a welcome sight for many users. Tableau Mobile also sees encouraging improvements, particularly when it comes to the designer experience. You can now spin up dashboards for different devices and different resolutions in a much more intuitive and friendly interface. Tableau Server as well sees some interesting new features, such as the introduction of version control and the ability to analyze your data sources much more closely. So without further ado, I will now hand over to Lingan to talk you through and demonstrate all of these improvements in some detail.
Thanks, Arshad. Let's begin with an insight into reporting and analytics. Tableau 10 has introduced a number of new analytical features that we have listed here. We will briefly go through these before getting into a live demo to showcase a few of the new features. The new clustering feature enables us to identify patterns in our data. It uses the k-means procedure to split the data into k segments. Clustering is not just restricted to scatter plots. You can use this feature on a range of charts, so you can really adapt the use of it to fit your individual needs. As you'll see in the demo, clustering is a drag-and-drop feature on the Analyticals pane. Custom territories allows you to customize your maps to match your business needs. This new feature allows a user to group multinational regions together. For example, we might want to view the EU as one mark instead of a combination of different countries. There are a range of different ways to use this feature, and we will be discovering a few of these today. Highlighting is a neat feature that Tableau users have become accustomed to. However, it is now available in a new and improved format. Tableau is also offering us a range of new and improved bar charts and has made advancements in calculations and level of detail expressions. Okay, so let's get into a demo and show you how some of these features can actually help you. Okay, well, before we get into any specific features, we can immediately notice a difference in the look and feel of Tableau 10. In general, it just looks a lot cleaner and really just feels generally quite smoother. We will be focusing on 2 datasets today. One is a consumer goods dataset called EU Superstore Sales that you might actually recognize because it comes with Tableau. As we can see here, it contains fields such as order date, ship date, your locations, plus some measures like sales, profit, and profit ratio. We will be using this dataset primarily. The second dataset is called EU Superstore Customer. It's a dummy dataset that I created, and it just gives us simple customer information such as customer ID, customer age, gender, and sales. We will see later how we can use this dataset for cross-database joins and filtering. So I've created a dashboard here in order to showcase a few of Tableau's new features. Now in this scenario, I will play the role of a sales manager for a consumer goods company selling different products ranging from technology to office supplies. Now this dashboard shows me my total sales, my total profit. I can also see this broken down by category in my waterfall charts. And then below this, I can gain a quick insight into what my top selling products are, as well as those making the greatest profit. I can also see my profit ratio here, broken down by country in the map. Okay, so if we delve into the profit map first, we can actually see, first of all, that UK and Ireland are seen as separate entities. Now, in our experience, a customer may come to us and say that they wish to see sales within the UK and Ireland as one. Now, this is where the custom territories feature can really help us. So if we go to country in our dimensions pane, we right click here, go to create and click on group. If we select Ireland and then control click United Kingdom, we can group these together, and if we just rename this UK and Ireland, we can press OK. Now Tableau has created a brand new dimension for us called country group. What we'll do is put this in the location folder. We can actually rename this if we want, but for this purpose we won't bother. What we do is just put the country group dimension over the country dimension, and now what we can see is that the UK and Ireland are seen as one entity. We are also able to create new geographic data using the data built into the geocoding database. Now, if I was to take on the role of a regional manager in this instance, I may want to see my profit map separated out by region instead of country. Now, at the moment, if I have a look for region, it's here. It's actually a string type dimension. However, now we can create new geographic data using this. So what I can do is right click on region, go down to geographic role and select create from, and I can select country. Now if you notice, the symbol next to region has actually changed, and what I'll do is once again I'll put this into my location folder. Now if I simply just drag and drop this instead of my country, what I can see immediately is that my map is now separated out by north, central and south. What we can do is just go into our tooltips and rename this region. What Tableau has actually done here is assign countries to a specific region through geocoding. Now, to further enhance this view, we can actually use the new highlighter function by right-clicking on region, go to show highlighter, and now what I can do is, if for example I wanted to specify the north, I can type in north, and I can see that only the north region is actually highlighted. And highlighting can really be a lot more powerful when we use it on a server rather than on the desktop. Okay, so let's now talk a bit about clustering. Sometimes it can actually be very difficult to manually identify patterns within your data. The new clustering feature can help you identify patterns and answer key questions. So what I have here is a scatter plot showing sales versus profit broken down by my products. Now, looking at this, it is very difficult to really understand what is happening in such a busy chart. So if I'm a marketing manager looking to change my company's one-size-fits-all marketing campaign approach, I could use the clustering feature to really help me. So if I go onto my analytics pane here, I just drag and drop clustering here. Right, so Tableau has automatically here given me two potential clusters. However, if I look at this, it doesn't really tell me much. So what I can do is, if I go to number of clusters, I can change this to 5 and press enter. And now I can begin to see an actual picture. So what Tableau has actually done is grouped together data points based on similar characteristics. Therefore, I don't actually need to come up with any sort of logic whatsoever. I just let Tableau do all the work for me. And if I wanted to, I could also add in different variables here by just dragging and drop whatever I wanted within the variables box. Now, looking at my new cluster chart, I can see that I may need different marketing campaigns to promote different products. Now, if I looked at cluster 5, I can see that generally it's doing quite well. Sales are doing well and it's giving me quite good profit. If I was to look here as well at cluster 3, that's also doing quite well. But if I was to look at perhaps cluster 1, cluster 2, it's not doing so great. It's giving me quite small profit, not much with sales. So what I can see is that perhaps with cluster 1 and 2, I might need to adopt a more aggressive marketing campaign approach. And these are just some of the quick answers I can gauge from using the clustering feature. Now, if you notice, the way that Tableau has actually named my clusters isn't really something that I like. It's named cluster 4 here, whereas I would want it to be named perhaps cluster 3. So what I can actually do is drag and drop my clusters into the dimensions page. And what it does is it names it here. If I keep this as if I just name it clusters for now, what I can do is I can actually right-click on this, edit group, and here I can actually edit the names of the clusters as I want. One good thing I can also do now is, because it's part of my dimensions, I can actually drop this onto rows, and if I wanted to, I could then look at the sales, for example, within these clusters. So I can actually create brand new charts based on this. So let's now move on to data connectivity and transformation. Tableau 10 now offers new data source connectors, as we can see in the list box on the screen. Now this includes QuickBooks for accounting data, SAP HANA for the Mac, and Google Sheets. You can see the wide range of data sources yourself by going to the Start page. Cross-data source filtering has been a highly requested feature, and Tableau has now finally brought it into life. If you have multiple data sources that have a common dimension, like product or category, you can now apply a single filter to apply across all sources. Similarly, when working with Tableau, there are usually times that we have to go further and work with multiple data sets. Whereas previously we would need to use blending, cross-database joining gives us a simple solution to multiple dataset integration. Okay, so let's get into another demo and show you how these features work. First of all, I will start by showing you cross-data source filtering. So for this, I will be using my second dataset, which is called Customer EU Superstore. So what I can do is just quickly show you this now. We can see here that it contains customer ID, my gender, age, and also some sales as well. So in this demo, I have already created the connection to my Customer EU Superstore dataset, but let me quickly walk you through how you would do this. What you would need to do is just go to Data, New Data Source, and from here you can connect to whatever data source you wanted. Now, this is a dashboard that we will end up looking at, but let's just start from the beginning. If I am a sales manager looking to understand whether my sales are affected by gender, I can create a simple bar chart to show this. So if I use my customer dataset, I can first use customer ID in rows. Then if we use sales in columns, I can then put gender on color. And what I'll quickly do is sort this descending. And what we'll do is we'll sort this by sales. Now straight away, I can potentially try and identify patterns between my sales and gender. Now, if I open another sheet and I use my EU Superstore dataset, I can create something quite similar. So I can drag my customer ID into rows. For this time, we'll break it out by profit. And if I go back to my customer dataset, I can put age on color. And what I'll once again do is sort this descending, and we'll do this by sales again. Now, what you might have noticed is that Tableau has automatically detected a relationship between both datasets. I can view or change this by going to Data and Edit Relationships. Now, in order for cross-data source filtering to work, you must have a relationship created between both datasets. Okay, so if we move back to the dashboard that I created earlier, we can see that this is the charts that I just created, and what I've done is I've added the customer ID filter. Now, if I go to search, and if, for example, I wanted to search with all customers beginning with AB, I can type that in, and if I select the following and click Apply, what I can see here is that my filter only affects one sheet. Now, if you remember, this is because I've taken one customer ID from one dataset and the other customer ID from another dataset. However, now Tableau gives us an option to go to Apply to Worksheets and select all using related data sources. If I click this, what I can see now is that my filter is actually filtering both sheets. So what Tableau has done is given us a very simple solution to what was really a tricky situation in the past. And what we've seen here is just how simple and quick it can be. Okay, so let's now make a customer data join. So if we go back to my older dashboard, what we can do is if we wanted to make a join now with our customer data set, we can go to Data Source. And next to Connections, you'll notice Add. So if we click Add, we now get a range of different connectors that we can join to. Just to let you know that there are some that are actually grayed out, and the reason for this is that these connectors aren't actually supported with the join functionality just yet. So my customer dataset is actually in Google Sheets, which is a brand new connector. So what I will do is I will connect to this. Now we will see that my dataset will load here, and I will get a mini preview here with a few details just here. Now, all I have to do, if I'm happy with this, is press connect. And what I will see is my panel underneath here refreshing to load both data. Now, straight away, what you can notice is that both data sources are actually colored differently. So my EU Superstore dataset is colored blue, and my customer dataset is colored yellow. And here I can either use an inner join or a left join because we're joining on customer ID, but you also have other options too. But be sure to think about exactly what type of join you need for your data. So what I'll do for the moment is just keep this as a inner join. Now what I will quickly do is show you in a sheet exactly what will happen now that we've made the join. The actual dataset name is going to change to orders, and it will have multiple connections in brackets. And if you remember, I did have a sales measure, and what this has done, because there's another sales measure, is put the name of the dataset in brackets. Similarly, it's done the same thing with customer ID. Now you can also join to more than one dataset, so don't think that there's a limit. So if we go back to our dashboard, now looking at my dashboard, I can see that I have brand new data available to me that I can analyze my original data with. So whilst this was simply a dashboard based upon EU Superstore sales, I've now got a new dimension by slicing my data using a second dataset. So if I go to my top 10 product sales, for example, this is just a relatively simple bar chart. But what I can do is I can make this a lot more powerful, for example, by dragging and dropping age on color. And now instantly I can analyze how my sales are based upon age. This is just the power of cross-database joins. Now moving on to Tableau Mobile. Tableau 10 has vastly improved its mobile offering. So let's take a look through exactly what is new and improved. Tableau has finally become available on any device. This includes Androids, iPads, and the iPhone. There is a brand new device design feature on Tableau Desktop that allows a user to design, customize, and publish a dashboard to suit different views. This means that now you can create a mobile phone view, tablet view, and a desktop view. So today I'll be showing you how you can design and view a Tableau workbook to be viewed through the Tableau Mobile app and on an Android phone. Okay, so let's just undo this and go back to our old workbook. Now, if you notice, you have a device preview button here. So if we click on device preview, we get a new tab that gives us several selections. Device type, model, also a switch to portrait mode, and we also have a Tableau Mobile app button here as well. So if for this scenario we choose a phone, and then model-wise we change to Samsung Galaxy, we'll keep the Tableau Mobile app button ticked because that's what I'll be using. We then just click Add Phone Layout. Now Tableau has created a phone layout for me. I then get size options. So if I click the Fit All button, I can then readjust my view to show something a little bit more appropriate. So the map was quite big, so we can get rid of that. And let's get rid of top 10 products and for profit and sales. And now we can just shift this slightly to make a view, and we'll get rid of that. So now we can see potentially this is exactly what I will want to see on my mobile. Now what I can also do is go back to device type and let's select tablet, for example. I can do the same thing again, and if I'm happy with generic tablet, I can click Add Tablet Layout. I click Fit All, and if we get rid of the map, we can see that this looks like quite a good view. And I can do the same again for desktop if I wanted, and what I can end up doing is creating 3 different views. One for mobile, one for the tablet, and one for a laptop. Now what I would need to do is go to Server and to Publish Workbook. And all I would do is connect through any of these devices, and I would see the corresponding view. Now you don't necessarily have to create a desktop view. If you're happy with the default view, you can also publish this, and this is what you would see on your server via your laptop. Now, let me show you how this would look using the Tableau Mobile app. Now, what we can see is that this is an earlier dashboard that I actually published, but the view is exactly the same as what we created. And what's really interesting now is that the functionality on the mobile is exactly the same as what you would see on a dashboard. So, for example, if I wanted to select consumer, I could click on that, and now my profit chart filters towards it, as does my total sales and total profit. I also have the options to keep only, exclude, etc. Now, if I wanted to specify actual values, I could click on the actual bar, and now I get some details. And what I can also do is, if I did have underlying data, is click View Data, and I get the following values. Now, as I said, this is using the Tableau Mobile app, and what I can actually do is go back, and I can see my different charts. I can see that this is a favorited chart. I also have the option to look at recent charts and all the charts that I published. Now, let's have a quick look at what server improvements Tableau has given us. If Tableau server refresh fails, you will now receive an email notifying you of this. Often, our customers have users in different parts of the world, and the last thing a UK product owner wants is to turn up in the morning with several emails asking them why there is no new data in their dashboard. This addition allows you to be on top of any refresh issues you may encounter. You can view the data source usage on the server, allowing you to see who is really accessing your workbook. And we all know that when working on the server, you can very easily publish over a workbook and then realize you actually needed something from it. Tableau is upgraded to allow you to go back and restore old workbooks and not just the most recent ones. There are also improved publishing capabilities as well as web authoring, which allows you to create your own dashboards on the server using published dashboards and data sources. Finally, let's brief overview of what to expect from Tableau 10.1 Beta. As you may or may not know, Tableau 10.1 Beta has already arrived. we can see that there are new data connectors as well as improvements to the Salesforce connector. Fill-up functionality has been introduced, adding a brand new dimension to our hierarchy analysis. There are also improvements to the server with web authoring improvements and email notifications when new data arrives on your server dashboard. A great feature Tableau has added is in the even distribution functionality. This means you can evenly distribute objects within a layout container with a click, instead of having to play about with it to get it looking perfect. All in all, I'd say that it looks like an exciting prospect so far. Arshad?
Thanks so much, Lingan. That was brilliant, and thank you for all of those demos. So let's quickly wrap up. As part of our wrap-up, let's revisit our objectives and see whether we've set out everything we were hoping to achieve at the beginning of our webcast. So 1, we've already explored the evolution of Tableau from its inception through to the new release, that is Tableau 10. And 2, Lingan took you through and demonstrated a number of the new features in the latest release that we believe many of you out there will find very useful. So how can Thorogood help you? Look out for our workshops in the UK and the US where we take you through all things Tableau in an interactive environment. Feel free to challenge our consultants. We're in constant conversation with customers who have shown interest in Tableau 10 and are keen on understanding how to integrate it into their enterprise reporting. If you need help putting together your own Tableau solution while taking into account your particular business challenges, reach out to us and we'd be happy to help. If you're interested in any other aspects of Tableau, how it plays with mobile, how it integrates with data sources such as Teradata, do attend any of our in-person marketing events in the UK or the US. We also run webcasts on a regular basis and have a number of related on-demand webcasts online for your viewing pleasure. At Thorogood, we host a number of educational marketing events across a range of tools and topics. Our next event is a webcast on how you can use Microsoft's flagship reporting tool, Power BI, to extract maximum insights from your Salesforce.com data. For more details on our upcoming events, just visit the link at the bottom of your screen. Thank you all for attending our webcast. We hope you found it informative and useful. Do reach out to Lingan or myself at any of the links you see on your screen if you have any questions. Thank you all for your time. Have a great day and cheers.